Oh, and Jason, one other thing. I probably should have mentioned this earlier. I'm poison.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm ready to unveil my new Poison Ivy build guide. This is something that I've been working on over the last month and streaming it a lot over Twitch, and I feel like it is now ready for this guide. As always, we will look at gameplay, skills, passives, gear, and of course break down the character sheet. Everything is timestamped in the description below if you need to bounce around. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm going to be using for this build are Shift, Shurikens, Acid Flask, Smoke Bomb, and Umbral Blades. Now Shurikens are going to be auto cast from our Shift, so we're actually going to take it off of our action bar and use Synchronized Strike. What's so great about Synchronized Strike is this is going to give you 2 shadows, which is going to allow you to throw more acid flasks and more blades. It makes a huge difference for the build. All right. Obviously, you can see the modifiers on the right, and this is empowered content on the monolith. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to try and kind of speed run through and see what we can handle. And as you can see, we are literally poisoning everything. So Shift is going to drop acid flasks, and it is going to make shurikens. Smoke bombs out. And that run is done. Woohoo! That is like record time right there. Let's do another one. Now on that first run, I really showcased the speed of this build. For the sake of showing you how all the skills actually work together, I'm gonna go much slower on this one. So again, Shift, make shurikens, and drops acid flask at the front and the back. So right now I'm literally just using Shift and nothing else. As you can see, I mean, we are actually killing. Let's see, can we kill everybody in that little group just with Shift? We can. Done. 2 acid flasks and shurikens. Now again, when you used Synchronized Strike, make shadows. Now you throw 3 acid flasks. Make shadows. Now you throw 3 spinning blades. Works really well. You can also just throw acid flask by itself. And then inside of Smoke Bomb, you're going to have more survivability, and it's also going to be shredding resistances of poison from your enemies. All right? So now let's go. Again, we're just going to take it slower on this run. As you can see, everything just kind of melts. It's a very strong build. I do have to say, to get perfect synergy among skills, to give yourself survivability, it did take me weeks to get this build figured out. But once it was figured out, I feel like we've been cruising. If you follow my builds at all, I never take influence from anybody else. Somebody asked me to make a poison bow build, which actually I have Rain of Arrows I haven't fully figured out yet. But I did give me kind of the intrigue on poison for this one.
Not happening.
Okay. All right, now I'm gonna speed it up.
Not easy. Too easy.
Really is fast. And you gotta remember too, you're probably thinking, Aaron, you're skipping all those enemies. No, most of them are dead already. They're getting so many stacks of poison.
Not happening.
All right, let's fight a Shade of Boribus. All right, pop out of there. Obviously, this is still a rogue build, and we're only at 2,300 life, so we do have to be careful to not get one shot.
Will be erased. Will be erased. Oblivion.
Alright, almost done. Just die.
Not happening.
That should do it. Done. Let me show you how to recreate this build. So now let's check out the skills for this build, starting with Smoke Bomb. And when it comes to Smoke Bomb, you have so many different ways you could take this skill. I changed it up a lot, but I ended up where it's at now, and I do really like it. This is what I've done. I have 4 into Generosity, 5 into Lingering Fumes, 1 into Shrouded in Darkness, 4 into Impending Gloom, 1 into Thick Smoke, 4 into Eroding Fumes, and 1 into Toxic Cloud. Now, Toxic Cloud and Eroding Fumes are the two skills that or two nodes that I feel like are required for this build. You're gonna get tons of Poison Shred on your enemies, which means you're just gonna be doing that much more damage. Now, if you want to make shadows, you can use Smoke Bomb for that. So you throw more Acid Flasks, you throw more Blades. And you could come right down here, 1 into Smoke Blades, and then 4 into Umbral Assault. That makes it where you have a 100% chance to cast a shadow every second, which is really good. I used that for a really long time, but then I ended up switching it out once I started using Synchronized Strike on my action bar. Also, if you want more survivability, you can take Rapid Concealment to get your 100% Dust Shroud. I don't need that because I have so much natural Glancing Blow anyways. So again, I didn't put points here, but if you find yourself struggling to stay alive, you can go that route. What I really wanted with Smoke Bomb was a larger starting area, the longest duration, and the growth speed and radius. That way it's shredding poison of everybody in the area, and I can easily bounce around and keep all the buffs, okay? But it's your choice. Smoke Bomb. Moving over to Shift. Probably the best skill in the game. This is going to give you Shadow, it's going to give you Shurikens, and it's going to give you Acid Flask. Really good. 2 into Rapid Recuperation, 5 into Sleight of Hand, 3 into Swift Recovery, 1 into Shadow Flip, 1 into Elusive, 2 into Parting Gift, 2 into Arrival Gift, 3 into Momentum, and 1 into Lasting Presence. And on top of that, Shurikens, Acid Flask, Shadow. It's also going to give you a speed boost after using it. Absolutely amazing skill. And I'll tell you something else you could do with Shift too. You can literally take care of almost 4 skills with this build. Moving over to Shurikens. This is going to give you Poison Shred, and it's going to give you survivability. Okay? 3 into Alcrity, 1 into Thin Shurikens, 1 into Blade Shield, 4 into Floating Blades, 3 into Bladed Armor, 4 into Abrasive Arsenal. This is your Poison Shred chance, and then you want 4 points into Eternal Blades. It has to be 100%. That way they stay up longer, and you get that boost from your Bladed Armor. Okay? Moving over to Acid Flask. You want 3 into Concoction, 4 into Lasting Sickness, 3 into Knowledge of Immunity, 4 in Contamination, 1 into Poison Pools, 3 into Lingering Toxins, and 2 into Pools. Now, I used to have 4 into here, then I realized this isn't a stacking. The 50% is more than enough. You'll get it on everything, and it's better to have Contamination and Concoction as far as Poison Chance and ensuring you're getting Shred. This build has so much Poison Shred. That's what makes it so awesome. Just crushes enemies. And you're gonna be throwing flasks like crazy. Last but not least, Umbral Blades. Now on here, I'm gonna show you something I didn't do. Actually, I was doing it for a while and then I switched it out, okay? 5 into Cut and Leave, 1 into Emerald Cutlass, 4 into Dawnfall, 1 into Precision Cuts, 1 into Sword Thrower, 1 into Steel, 4 into Steel Torrent, and 1 into Loathing. Now the 1 point into Lethal Darkness and the 1 point into Edge of Obscurity are kind of free points. I put 1 in Lethal Darkness just because you can get 10,000 damage, and it happens pretty often, so it does give you a little bit of a damage boost. Now, if you took this point out and this point out, you can go 1 into Backstab and then 1 into Nightmare Dash. Okay, if you put a point into Nightmare Dash, that means your blades are recalled from Shift. When you do this, this means Shift is going to make Shurikens, it's going to make Acid Flask, it's going to give you momentum as far as speed boost, it is going to give you a shadow, and it's going to recall your blades so you could throw more, okay? If you like that, this is totally personal preference, you can do that, okay? I had it in for a while, I ended up switching it out, and I liked my blades staying out there longer, but if you want complete control with Shift, run it that way. Those are the skills. Now let's check out the passive skills for Poison Ivy. My character is level 93. Now I'm not going to stop on every single node, but I'll stop on the ones that are fairly significant. Let's do it. In the base class, you want 8 into Steady Hands, 8 into Guile, 5 into Evasion, 1 into Twin Blades. This is what allows you to dual wield. 5 into Dodge and Parry. This gives you Glancing Blow. 8 into Poison Tipped. Very important node. This makes it where if you are holding a dagger, you get an 80% poison chance. And then this is something kind of new I've been adding. This is Thief Guard. Every single time you take a Glancing Blow, you get 32 health, and it gives you base health. And a lot of times you're at 100% Glancing Blow, so literally your life is always flying up. Moving over to Marksman. 8 into Focus Fire, gives you some dex and some dodge rating debuff. And then our actual mastery class, Bladedancer. You want 8 into Cloak of Shadows, 5 into Pursuit. You don't really care about throwing damage, but honestly, these 5 points, I like the increased movement speed because we are really fast. 10 into Blood Serpent's Blades. This gives you this gives you global damage over time, and it gives you poison chance per equipped dagger. And you have 2, so that's 100% poison chance. 8 into Shroud of Dusk, 1 into Apo. This makes it where your dodge chance turns into Glancing Blow. That's why we have a native 70% Glancing Blow. 1 into Flash of Steel to get to 8 of Weapons of Choice. Weapons of Choice is going to give you poison chance with 2 daggers at 160%. 1 into Argent Veil. This just gives you Silver Shroud. 5 into Spellbreaker. This gives you a frailty chance and mana regen. And the last 5 points go into Hooked Blade. This gives you armor shred chance and armor shred effect. Those are the passive. Moving over to everyone's favorite gear, starting with idols. Now, normally when I make a build over Twitch, I am using items that I already have in my stash or things that just fall. And historically, I've never really made a poison build. So we were really kind of starting from scratch, and my idols are really, really bad. Of course, in the description is the advanced build planner that will show you the true endgame gear for this build. But again, you saw the gameplay, you saw the boss fight in empowered content. I couldn't even imagine what this build was capable of if it had true endgame gear. So let's go through the idols. So on here, I have Poison on Hit, Vitality Throwing Damage, Vitality Armor Shred Effect, and Poison Damage. And then I've just got some life, poison, poison, and then round out some resistances I needed. Again, check the link for the true endgame idols, because some of these have poison chance and damage over time. Those are the idols we were hunting for. It did not happen. Now let's go through the gear, and we're gonna go one by one. By the way, there is nothing required for this build, okay? Not like you need to go hunt for a special unique or some kind of set or legendary. Nope, nothing required. Helm, triple life, life leech. Amulet, poison damage, damage over time. Armor, health, health, health. Belt, poison damage, needed the resistance. Ring, damage over time, throwing attack speed, health, endurance. Legendary ring, and this is obviously a poison ring that we made legendary, and we got damage over time and fire resistance. Relic, damage over time. Look, you see my relic has cold damage on it. It'd be so much better. Boots, movement speed, health, health, health. And then we have Salt of the Wound. If you had a really good exalted gloves, I actually wouldn't use Salt of the Wound, just because you get so much life from your gloves. But obviously, if you have Salt of the Wound, it is a good just kind of throw in slot because of the damage over time, because of the resistances, and then your crit multiplier turns into bleed and poison effectiveness. So It is a good slot for your gloves, okay? Don't forget, link in the description for the actual gear you want for this build. Now let's break down the character sheet for Poison Ivy. We are level 93, dexterity is 31, vitality is 39, movement speed is 37, but after using shift, that goes up to 87. Now our resistances at a glance look really bad, but they just need a little bit of tweaking. Fire's max, lightning's almost maxed, physical's maxed, poison's maxed, and necrotic is almost maxed. But as you can see, fire and poison are doubled. We're at over 150. So if we spread out some poison to void and spread out some fire to cold, it should be easy to get all your resistances taken care of. Under damage, increased damage over time is at 508. Increased poison damage is at 519, and I will showcase that damage at the training dummy in 1 second. Under defenses, endurance is at 54, almost at 60, and glancing blows at 60%. After using shift, that goes up to 141 for a few seconds. And then when you use smoke bomb, your glancing blow also goes up steadily. So as long as you are inside of your cloud, you will be at 100% taking a glancing blow on every single hit. And since you're taking glancing blow on every hit, you got to remember this node right here, Thief Guard, is going to give you 32 health every time you are hit. Okay? So that is the breakdown of the character sheet. So now let's check out the training dummy for a second. What I'm gonna do is a single rotation, okay? I'm gonna make a smoke bomb. I'm then going to shift to the training dummy. I'm then gonna make synchronized strike. I'm then going to throw our blades, and then I'm gonna drop one acid flask on top, okay? One single rotation. I'm not gonna click any skill more than once, okay? Ready? Smoke bomb, shift, synchronized strike, blades, acid flask. I saw a 150,000 damage tick. And remember the gear that I'm using, okay? That was one rotation. I was just standing there. Imagine if I was stacking it. Ready? Smoke bomb, shift, synchronized strike, blades, acid flask. On that one, I saw a 130. Try it one more time. Ready? And smoke bomb, shift, synchronized strike, blades, acid flask. That time I saw 162. Serious damage. Last but not least, something I've been adding into all my build guides is my leveling recommendation. How do you get Poison Ivy from level 1 all the way to level 93 at this stage? And I'm going to tell you the skills you should use, because for me, if I am a rogue, whether it's a marksman or a blade dancer, I use the exact same skills in the exact same way. And then between level 50, 60, or when you feel comfortable, I transfer into that next build. Okay, this is what I would do. 4 skills, it could not be more simple. I use Cinder Strike, and I take the top 3 nodes, okay? This is gonna give you fire damage, this is gonna give you fire shred, and this is gonna give you a first attack damage and increased area. So you have an AoE with your Cinder Strike, okay? I am then taking shift, and inside of shift, I want movement speed so I can move really, really fast, okay? So you've got your damage dealer, you've got your movement speed, now you need something to keep you alive. You take Smoke Bomb, and with Smoke Bomb, you come over here and you take Rapid Concealment, all right? Everything else on here can be literally the exact same as the build. I would just take these 5 points away and move them this way into Rapid Concealment. Those 3 skills, Smoke Bomb, Cinder Strike, and Shift, would get you through the entire campaign into the end game. Now, when you can unlock a 4th skill, I would actually take Decoy. This is something that you could throw, and you could take Backup Buddy so you have an extra charge, and they cost a lot of mana, so you can also take Mana Efficiency, okay? And this is just something that works really well as a decoy so you don't die, okay? Cinder Strike, Shift, Smoke Bomb, Decoy. Now, inside of the passive tree, you can literally just start leveling it through this. Maybe wait on the poison until you shift over, but for the most part, all of these nodes are going to be great for the build, especially anything that is glancing blow. When it comes to gear for leveling, what I do is inside of my stash, I have my one-handed tab. And in here, since you can dual wield, I just slowly go down and use the upgraded weapons as I go through. So if you don't have all these different uniques that you could switch in as you are leveling, because they're in order based upon level, you can go to Last Epoch Tools, you could search dagger, and on there it'll show you when the new daggers unlock. So it'll be like level 16, level 22, and just continuously upgrade your weapon as you see fit. You will fly through the campaign. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. What do you think of Poison Ivy? Is there anything I missed? Is there anything I need to do to take this build to the next level? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today's the day I have earned your subscription. Hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. I would really appreciate it. It does really support the channel. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. Thank you to the first 42 members that have signed up. Become an instant ARPG VIP and get Patreon exclusive content at the first link in the description. We have a weekly blog post. We do a weekly podcast. We have access to the VIP lounge. You get access to a special title in the Discord. And depending on where you sign up at, you get lots of other goodies. I would appreciate it as well. Maybe Poison Ivy isn't for you. In the description as well as over 20 viable build guides for 0, 8, 5. And again, the advanced build planner and advanced loot filter is also in the description. If you have any questions, hit me up in the Discord. That's all I've got. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.